on a beach, there's a huge wave comes and suddenly so many fish come with that big wave and they're trapped on the beach. They can't go back. One person sees that and starts throwing them inside. Other person watches him. Is who's watching him. He goes there and says, "अरे भाई, हजारों मछली आए हैं.
How much?
तू करने क्या फर्क पड़ेगा?" So he took one fish, he threw it and said, "इसको फर्क पड़ेगा." That how should be officer be like? The word used by my guru is karyakarta adhikari, which means a karyakarta is one who wants to have a fire in his heart about doing something. Adhikari is one who has the powers to do it.
To execute, yeah. Back in 2002, Vishwakarma Institute of Information Technology was conceived as an engineering college to serve the needs of the IT industry of Pune. Today, VIIT has become a college of repute with so many successful alumni working in various sectors. It is my privilege to have Dr. Prasad Chaphekar, the first batch pass out of VIIT of 2006, an ENTC engineer and right now working as the Deputy Secretary with the Government of India. Welcome to the Learning Club, Prasad.
Thank you so much for calling me here. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Well, Prasad, you have a very interesting journey. We know that you are an ENTC engineer from VIIT. You went on to become a income tax officer, and now you are serving the Government of India in the Ministry of Renewable Energy. Tell us about this entire journey of yours.
So I was born in Mumbai, brought up in Pune, specifically Kothurud, in a joint family setup. Post 12th, I came to VIIT, which was the first batch of students, 2002. And Vishwakarma, because it was known to have very good professors, and I did not want to attend any more classes after 12th. I was done with all 4 subject classes, physics, chemistry, math, biology.
Yes.
So I was fed up of that. That's why I chose VIIT. And the first batch, so we were like, the apple of everyone's eye. I passed out in 2006. Then I went to do my master's. IIT Kanpurla mala offer ali hoti. So I took there. And I was also placed in Infosys.
Okay.
But I didn't go.
Okay. You chose to do your master's than Infosys. Okay.
And master's was thought to be better, maybe better prospects at that time. So master's मी केलं आणि master's मध्ये second year मध्ये मला UPSC काहीतरी असतंही कळलं. I had no clue before that what is UPSC, who gives it, what are the qualifications, nothing. माझा एक मित्र होता, he was preparing. So I saw the books की काय आणि मग त्यामध्ये आले UPSC मग यांनी कसली एक्झाम असते मग you become IPS, IAS and other services. Then that got me hooked.
Okay.
And after 8, I didn't sit for campus placements in IIT.
Okay.
I came back to Pune to prepare for UPSC.
right.
But UPSC, I needed a backup plan. So I was also trying to do something else to continue my education. So I applied to PhD la IIT Bombay. I mean, I got through IIT Bombay, PhD,
Okay.
in 2010. So 2 years I prepared at home
Right.
for UPSC. I gave an attempt, couldn't get through.
Okay.
Then I went to IIT Bombay
Okay.
as PhD. And I was preparing simultaneously.
Yes.
In 2012, I cracked UPSC.
Wow.
So, and my PhD I finished in 20.
Prasad, you cracked the UPSC in your third attempt. It is quite a journey. I would just like you to help us deep dive into this UPSC journey of yours and life afterwards.
So I began to prepare in 8. I gave first attempt in 9, couldn't clear. 10, couldn't clear. Third 11 I gave, that I cleared all 3 stages.
Okay.
UPSC has 3 stages: prelims, MCQ, mains is written exam, and interview. Anywhere you fall down, you have to start from scratch. Subsidy. There is no way out. There is no other way. I mean, obviously the journey is sometimes you fail, you feel very bad. But I had my PhD going for me.
Right.
So I was enjoying that.
Right.
I didn't feel too demotivated ki why I couldn't do. Okay, there was something I could do, but I didn't doing a PhD.
Yes.
UPSC ला एक attitude लागतो. लात मारून तिथं पाणी काढीन. असं म्हणतात मराठीमध्ये. So that attitude you need.
Right.
Whether in life or UPSC.
Yes.
11 was the prelims and the interview happens in 12. So May 12 I got selected.
Right. What happens then?
So after you get selected, there is a 3-month foundation course, which is inter-service course, so mingling sort of.
Okay.
It's a खूप fun करतात. We went to Hyderabad. There is an academy there where people from different services came, customs, economic service, असे खूप लोक, Indian Forest Service, so on and so forth. The course is meant, as I said, to reinforce inter-service bonds. So we have taken on 8-day long treks through the Nilgiris.
Acha.
And there is a fun festival where to cook and we have to set up stalls. It's called FET.
Acha.
And then there are cultural programs. You can learn poetry, you can learn music, so on and so forth. So it's a very fun field, or with some learning thrown in, just for good measure. We get lectures from many people who are working in the field.
Right.
They come as guest lecturers. So that's for 3 months roughly. And then all the services go to their own parent institutions for their further training. So our institute, so I was given income tax service.
Right.
Our institute is in Nagpur.
Okay.
There we went, I reported for training. Income tax training is a 16-month long process. It's one of the most complicated acts in the world. So you need that training to actually know what you're talking about, because you have to pass orders based upon the act when you come in the field.
Absolutely.
So you need to know. So it's 16 months. So I reported for field duty in 2015 June.
Okay. Yes, it's been 8 years that you are in the department now.
Yeah, 8 years and 3 months I'm on deputation to the Ministry
Of,
Renewable Energy.
With your credentials, Prasad, I'm very sure you would have got into any corporate job and climbed the corporate ladder. You already had some offer of Infosys from campus, and even not though Infosys, there would have been others waiting for you. Why is the inclination towards a government job?
Big reasons, I would say. Major reasons. First is obviously public service. It's a union public service commission.
Absolutely.
So public service is a big, and so the exposure which government can give in this regard in terms of job variety, it is no private player can even come close.
I agree.
So I'm in income tax and I work for renewable energy. I mean, this is not possible in the corporate setup anywhere. That is one reason. Secondly, either I can crib about why the government is not working well, or I can do something about it.
Right.
So there's a movie, The Shawshank Redemption. It's one of my favorite movies.
Yes.
उसमें एक quote है, you get busy living or get busy dying. So it's something like that. Either you get busy changing or you get busy dying.
Right. Right. So nice.
So my grandfather asked me, because there's nobody in the family who's done UPSC.
Okay.
No background whatsoever. They don't know what UPSC is. The usual suspect question came to me. What about politicians? They may harass you, A, B, C, D. What will one person do? So I had heard of one story which motivates me to this day. कि एक आदमी क्या कर लेगा? So there's a story ऐसे है कि on a beach, there's a huge wave comes and suddenly so many fish come with that big wave and they're trapped on the beach. They can't go back. One person sees that and starts throwing them inside. Other person watches him. Is who is watching him? He goes there and says, अरे भाई हजारों मछली आए हैं.
How much?
तू करने क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? So he took one fish, he threw it and said, इसको फर्क पड़ेगा.
Right. So nice.
For me, there are 100 files.
Right.
But for that, there's only one. Him is only one file.
Absolutely. So nice.
So this is what keeps on motivating. अकेला क्या कर लेगा? अकेला बहुत कुछ कर सकता है. So that was my big motivation.
You were with the income tax department. Tell us about that stint of yours.
So my first posting in the field was Mumbai.
Okay.
So income tax department has various units, like any other department will have. So we have assessment, we have TDS, we have investigation wing, which is known as the wing who does the raids in popular parlance. The correct term is search and seizure.
Right.
So I have worked in most of these.
Right.
If you have skipped most of these. So assessment is where you check whether the return which is selected for scrutiny, whether they have filed the return properly in accordance with law. If not, then you add the income and so on. This is and pass an order.
Right.
It's called assessment order. That's assessment posting. After doing my assessment and my investigation, 1 year,
okay,
I got a chance to work in HQ.
Okay.
The headquarters of the Principal Chief Commissioner. I got it again later on. But so 2 years I got in HQ.
Okay.
My most learning happened there of administration.
Right.
That I was actually involved in administration, not just passing one order after another.
Right.
So I'm very junior to the people who have to ask to get work done.
Right. And you're reporting to someone who's
also very senior
person.
So that time I learned how to be tactful. Because principal chief commissioner तो रहेंगे नहीं पूरे साल अभी है, but I can't talk too harshly because that guy may become my boss in a couple of years.
Absolutely.
But still I have to be firm because it is the principal chief commissioner's order, which cannot be taken lightly. And that's when my fear of talking to others dissipated. I'm an introvert by nature. I don't like talking to people too much. I don't make friends very easily.
Right.
But there is no choice. कल report चाहिए तो चाहिए. But I enjoyed this more than investigation.
In your current role in the Ministry of Renewable Energy, your focus area is green hydrogen. What is green hydrogen?
So green hydrogen is a concept which has just come up in the past 4 or 5 years to reduce carbon emissions across the economy in different sectors. It just brings two known areas together.
Okay.
So first is taking energy from solar and wind sources, the electricity, and using it to break water to make hydrogen and oxygen.
Okay.
And that hydrogen can be used as a renewable fuel.
Okay.
For many things, for trucks, for generating heat,
Okay.
Anything as a means to store energy. If you want to export energy,
Right.
how will you export?
Right.
You export it through such means.
Okay.
So you use solar and wind power
Right.
to split water into its constituent, which is hydrogen and oxygen.
Right.
When you burn that,
Right.
you only get water vapor. There are no emissions.
Right. Right. So it's clean.
So it's clean, it's green. It's
Right.
green. India is saying green. It's not just clean.
Okay.
It's green.
Nice. What is your role or the department's role into this?
So to give a bit of background, the government announced the National Green Hydrogen Mission in this year in January. This was also confirmed in the budget.
Right.
The total budget allocation of this mission is 19,700 crores. There are various components of the mission. So now as a ministry, it is our job to lay down the guidelines. So it's government's job to sort of balance out the competing considerations and come out with a guideline or a scheme
Right.
which works the best possible way.
You are an ENTC engineer from VIIT, Masters in Laser Technology from IIT, a PhD from IIT, threat in the UPSC. What is this quest for knowledge about?
It's not a quest for me, it's an output because I am curious. So I try to find things out to satisfy my curiosity. And we call it education. So these degrees are goalposts, like you have reached a certain level. Nothing more than that. I'm not out to achieve any target. It's just that I was curious and I had to read so many things to satisfy my curiosity.
Right.
So that's knowledge or education for me.
Right. Who are the people who have influenced you in your journey?
Parents, yes, obviously the first, but not just parents, my whole joint family. So my both parents are doctors. School, they never, or even college, they didn't push me to do this thing or do that thing or you study for so many hours. इतके तास अभ्यास केला पाहिजे. असं काही नाही. It was pretty free and enjoyable childhood I had with my cousins and everybody. So once that, after my parents and my family, then my UPSC guru, Shri Dramadikari sir. So I prepared in Chanakya Mandal. In 2008 I prepared and then I volunteered there for a year. So he's been my guru. I mean, the guru is the word. Teacher is not enough to define what he means to me. He is the reason I've cracked UPSC.
Yes.
And Chanakya's values, why to go in, why is much more stressed than how. It's not a coaching class per se for him. And I took so many things he says very lightly.
And naturally, maybe.
And naturally, but I imbibed them. He says that for him, reading is next to breathing. Sir and Tai, his wife. So I like to call them my second set of parents, so to speak, because we have been now together for 14 years now. I've been with them, some form or the other, either teaching there or going there to meet them.
Right.
So, and the third person who has impacted me most in life is my thesis supervisor in IIT Bombay, Professor Vikram Gadre. Yeah, so he was very instrumental in me finishing my PhD.
Right.
It took 10 years. I mean, which guide will put up with a candidate for 10 years?
10 years.
He also said me one very important thing that I will never forget. He said that, see, if you quit now, it's very easy for you to quit. You have a job in hand. You can easily quit. You will get in this habit that you find something easier, you will quit the task which you took up.
So nice.
That is not the attitude with which you want to go into government service. I am very grateful to him.
Yeah, this is a beautiful story.
In my life.
You have cracked UPSC, one of the toughest exams of our country. What would be your advice to these UPSC aspirants?
So my first advice is that if you're a UPSC aspirant, think again and have a plan B ready.
Right.
So you please don't leave everything you have and jump into this.
Right.
The success rate is 0.05% or even lesser than that. So first requirement for UPSC is that you develop the attitude, as I told previously, that you need to develop an attitude that I will succeed wherever I go. For that, you need to first be successful in what you're doing now. Engineering, for example.
Absolutely.
So if you're doing engineering, be a good engineer.
Absolutely.
That is the first step to cracking UPSC, because that UPSC is going to give you 10 subjects, 20 subjects. What are you going to do?
Right.
You have to excel in each of them, beyond, at least attain some level. And it's not possible unless you have the habit of excellence. Perfect. So have a plan B ready. Secondly is excel what you're doing right now. And third is obviously you need focus. But you also fix how many years of your life are you going to give to this exam. You can't keep spending the prime years of your life.
Right.
5, 6, 7 years. It's not done.
Absolutely.
And then you are at the end of if you don't crack it out, now what should I do?
Absolutely.
That should not happen.
So fix some timeline in place.
Yeah, fix up a timeline and then you can do parallelly.
Absolutely.
That you can do a job or do something which you love to do anyways.
Right.
other than UPSC, and then continue preparing.
Perfect.
So these are the three, I would say, key.
What has been your learning curve like? Or what are the values that have helped you on your way?
I would say that the first, which strikes me most important, is you need to be a good listener. 90% of the times, even if you just listen to people properly, they are okay. At least मेरी बात इसने सुन ली. So they feel happy. They feel some kind of content. Secondly, I've seen in my service also, and I've been told also, the people who get in trouble most number of times or most often is people who have a bad tongue. They disrespect others and they get into trouble for whatever reasons. It's
Right.
you call it karma, whatever you want to call it. The next quality, which is required for, again, government someone I'm talking about, but also in life, be ready to unlearn.
So nice.
With experience, we think that we know so much now, and I can build on that. But as I told, life will throw a curveball any day.
Absolutely.
आज ChatGPT आ गया, कल आपका जॉब चला जाएगा. मैं एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ प्राइवेट सेक्टर का.
बराबर.
So you have to be prepared for that, and that with experience, you should be able to unlearn faster.
Absolutely.
Not stopping unlearning, but doing it faster.
Absolutely.
I was learning in Nagpur that protect your image for the first few years. After that, the image will protect you.
So well said, Prasad. I have memories around, as you say, I have memories around my conversations with government officers, and I really cherish those memories where even though my work was not done, but the government officer has behaved well with me. My first job was after my stint in corporate to get into the management of VIIT. You were the first batch of VIIT. Would love to hear memories of VIIT from you.
I still remember the first visit I took with my mom. I went there and I just saw two buildings. Obviously, in the first year, you don't need many. Two buildings. One was the block where you had the lectures. Next was the workshop where we had our workshop trainings. So I've literally seen the college come up from scratch. Every year we saw a new building, come up, a new department added, computer, आया, फिर ENTC building आ गई. That's a very fun journey. Then first we had no canteen.
Yes.
फिर canteen बना, फिर उसमें we had so much fun there. So many memories are linked to that. The approach road, was I don't know how it is now, but that day it was a menace. Matlab, in the monsoon it used to be a dirt biking track, and we used to have fun, racing through it. The professors, we got the best of professors from VIT to VIIT. So Mandar Pramanik sir we had for graphics, then Sasabuddhe sir we had for mechanical engineering.
Right.
How many names? We had 4 principals changing every year. So I think we had Prabhu sir, Kurzekar sir. I think Tavildar sir were there. So there were so many fond memories. And the professors we had, many of them, not all obviously, but many of them were recent pass outs. So they could be very friendly with us. For example, Chitra sir, I still remember, he used to teach very well because he could crack jokes with the batch and take it everything, in a very friendly manner. It was fun. It was fun to learn with such guys. I also participated in all cultural programs, all 4 years. I used to do plays with my friends, obviously, and it was a lot of fun. I made many friends while doing that. 2 of my best friends, Rahul Deshmukh and Kedar Kulkarni, are from VIT. Both of them are in the US right now, again in very good companies. I think Microsoft or something. So I've made so many good friends. One funny story, my friend Abhinay Sarkate, used to call him Sakhya. He was not very good at academics, but he was a very bombastic personality, very free, daring, as we call him. And people would say, "Ye kaise place hoga?" You can't believe the questions he answered in the campus interview.
Okay.
4th year of engineering, ENTC. The interviewer asked him, "What is a low-pass filter?" Like the basic low-pass filter is 1 resistor, 1 capacitor. He drew 2 possible, 1 high pass and low pass, and said, "Isme se koi ek hai." So then they asked him, "Do you know C, C++?" He answered that if I don't want to go to France, why should I learn French? They asked him, if we post you in a foreign country, how would you like it? He said, it's taking a bath with cold water. At first you shiver, but then you get used to it. And they placed him.
Yeah, he got a job.
He got a job. So,
So all these wonderful memories.
Yeah, wonderful memories from VIT.
Tell us about your family.
So my wife is also IRS officer, income tax.
Okay.
Same batch. We met at the foundation course in Hyderabad.
Okay.
Although I think got finalized much later after that, 3-4 months after we got together properly final. Ho gaya abhi. Her name is Khushvi Gandhi. She's a Gujju from Mumbai. My parents, Arvind Chaphekar and my mother, Aruna Chaphekar, both are doctors.
Okay.
My mom is a gynec, and dad is a pathologist. And joint family for me is family. For family, it doesn't mean only close family. For family, always been. म्हणजे काय joint family.
Right.
That's the reason I also asked them to please shift kara माझ्यासोबत. I want my kids to have the same joint family feeling which I grew up and I am so fond memories of. So that is my immediate family. And then I have 2 uncles and cousins and 2 cousin sisters, and their family now is grown. They are married now.
Yes.
So it's a one big family.
So nice.
And we enjoy so much when we get together.
Your children?
I have 2 kids. So my daughter Vedika, she's 6 years old, and my son Advait, he is 10 months old now.
Oh, so young.
Yeah.
So nice. And what would be your hobbies, Prasad?
Hobbies, so I'll tell my 2 characteristics. I am a lazy guy and I'm a curious guy.
Okay.
So the hobby fit for such a guy is reading.
What would be the social causes that are near to your heart or that you work with?
So I entered in government service as a social cause. I mean, that's what I was imbibed with. That how should the officer be like? The word used by my guru is karyakarta adhikari, which means a karyakarta is one who wants to have a fire in his heart about doing something. Adhikari is one who has the powers to do it.
To execute, yeah.
So for me, my service is a social cause in itself. I enjoy it thoroughly, and that's what I'm attached to. And I believe government policy is the way to impact the country at large.
Well, thank you, Prasad. Thank you for being with us over here today on this episode. Your journey of first education, your BTech, then your masters, your PhD, UPSC, now working on a government job, and that too in such an important area which is impacting or going to impact the entire country is so amazing. I am sure all students and audience watching this episode would get a lot of inspiration from you and a lot of learning from your journey and from your path. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling me.